Hi everyone, it's Sketchbook Tass. Today I'm bringing you a character creation of a new D&D character that I've created for the Waterdeep campaign setting. So our DM is actually very kind to set up a new campaign for us to play in, and it's a fun time to create a new character. So I decided to bring you how I start the portrait for my character. So the character I'm playing is a Tiefling. I wanted to play a bard, and I knew that I wanted to play a pink Tiefling. So the process that I did was I actually took a I think it's a type of RPG, Dungeons and Dragons character creation book. I will link it in the description. It has a bunch of prompts and ideas for you to jumpstart your character creation. So basically I went with the very first, either the first chapter or the second chapter, where you get to decide what kind of traditions or celebrations that your character may have or believe in. So I rolled on the chart and I got a very interesting string of words, which was celebrating a fallen hero by fasting, and everyone has to tell a story. So, perfect. My brain started firing up and I got an idea for a very interesting bard character. Basically, I created Coriander. Her nickname's Cori. She's a bard who doesn't really sing or dance or perform. She's more of a spoken word or a literary bard, I would say. I wanted to have her come from a pretty wealthy family, so she has a noble background. And she's kind of like being not really forced, but her mother is trying to break her into the industry. She wants her to become a superstar. So she has an awful voice, but her mother refuses to accept this and has been pushing her to take lots and lots of vocal lessons and tap dancing lessons, which she hates. So how I'm transitioned for her to become a bard was that she likes reading, she loves literature, she likes writing, she's quite the poet. So I wanted her to have like a secret identity or an alter ego, where she basically is writing like a tabloid style gossip column or newsletter under an alias. She writes under the pen name Rose and publishes a newsletter called Rose's Rumors, which is quite the popular newsletter amongst the socialites and high society because they like to gossip about each other. So this is basically the process I usually take when I create new characters. I start with an outline and start with the basic shapes and forms that I enjoy. And I start with a basic sketch, lower the opacity, and I picked out a few colors that I want her color palette to be. So I wanted her to have a nice pink skin, pink hair, a lighter tone horns, and they're curved so that they kind of poke out in the front. And she has 2 roses that she likes to clip in to the sides of her head to, keep her bangs out of her face. And she has dark purple robes. The next step is to create a new layer, and do the darker line art on top, and I then do the coloring under the dark line art layer. My style is a bit sketchy even during the line art phase because it's kind of the comic look that I like, that I prefer. My coloring technique, I don't really know how to explain it well. I basically do a flat color, pretty rough. I don't worry about keeping in the lines that much. I have a pretty thick line art style, so I don't worry about it too much. My shading and highlighting is pretty simple. I don't really do a lot of blending because, again, I like the more rough, sketchy look. This is, of course, personal work, not commission work, so I don't have to be too serious about it. My usual setup is a display tablet connected to a computer, which is not what I'm drawing on for today. For today, I'm using a regular small Samsung tablet and a Medibang. My usual program for commission work is on Clip Studio Paint Pro, so maybe I'll record something on that for the next time. So at this stage, I'm just putting down some highlights and shading. I wanted her to have the blacked out pupilless eyes, so I just put some little highlights on her eyeballs, which I think is a very cute look. In terms of spell casting, I have the idea of having her have a quill, crystal tipped quill that she uses as a spell focus, and basically she'll be writing poems into the air, kind of like a wand, a bit like a wizard's incantation, but bard spells. So my DM allows it, so I don't think I have to be too serious about that. Of course, before you start to go too deep into the character creation process, I would always check with the DM if what you're creating is okay, if they have a different spell casting thing that they do or something like that, because you don't want it to be too far into the game before you get to the table and you can't play that character. That'd be very sad. Well, I did the final coloring and shading off screen, so this is the final result of Coriander Caraway. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope to see you in the next one soon.